Okay, so it is Monday, June 6th, 2022, day before my birthday. I was born in 61 and tomorrow I'm going to be 61. So I actually drove with Jennifer. We were at our family reunion this weekend. My aunt passed away. I'm sure you guys have followed me on Facebook, have already seen that. It was a sad thing, but she's been fighting pancreatic cancer for a year, and it was a battle that no one should have to fight for as long as she fought it. So it's good that she's in heaven now and dancing with joy and having fun with her friends and family. But I took Jennifer to the old hospital where I was born a couple of days ago and made a little picture there. So I'm going to be posting that up tomorrow. But having a good time. It's always good to get your batteries charged up. We work so hard in this business. We got to work hard. We got to play hard. And this has been a little play hard time for me and Jen. We're going to get up around 4,000 miles on our car before it's all said and done.
So I need to do a dispute.
Hey, Lorena, let's get you muted up there, young lady. We'll do that. There we go. Hey, Holly, Lorena, good to have you guys on. Someone with iPhone, I don't know who you are, but welcome. Sure wish you guys would turn your cameras on so we could see your bright, smiling faces. Who is that good-looking guy? Oh, that's Dejan. What's up, dude? Another icon agent in the house. That's awesome. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. And, guys, we have a really big event coming up in August 23rd through the 25th. And if there's any way you can get there, you should. It's going to have Tony Robbins again for the second year in a row. Brent Gove is hosting it. He's one of the top revenue share income earners, really one of the top income earners, period, in the world. Brent is in the 7-figure a month range now in income, and he doesn't have to work anymore. He's got all passive residual income plus his real estate income. But he's hosting this event again. Last year, I think there was around 6,000. I'm sure there's going to be 10,000 agents there. It's going to be at the Gaylord Texan. You can go to, what is it, Phil? Build, I think it's Build Event 2000.
Build Event, right?
Is it Build Event 2022?
Yes.
Just buildevent22.com.
Yeah, and just when Brent was in town a month or two ago, he had mentioned this will be the last time they're having it there.
Okay.
And next year it's going to be in an arena.
Oh, wow.
To be that much bigger.
Yeah, well, it needs to be an arena. That place was packed. But guys, here's the deal. That event is sold out on the cheaper tickets. I think the cheapest tickets were $297. But I'll tell you, the way things work at EXP is if you just wait for about a week or so before the event in August, people are going to be selling their tickets because they got pregnant, got married, someone died. There's always life events that get in the way. So if you don't have a ticket, I can guarantee you'll get one if you're on Workplace and looking for them. Best thing to do is get your
Tony
reserved at the Gaylord Texan. Yeah, Merrick, you have an update for us?
Yeah, I just have a quick question for you. So one question I have is, can someone that's not with EXP go to that event?
They can, but they still have to buy a ticket, or you have to buy one for them.
Okay. So I just need to hop on Workplace and just post if anybody has a ticket.
Yeah, just do that, or just wait, till August, because I guarantee around the 1st of August, you're going to see a lot of people selling their tickets, and it's really first come, first serve. First agent that calls them with a credit card or whatever to buy the ticket. So I'll tell you, I was at that was Tony Robbins' first event since COVID hit. And that guy was so jacked out of his mind. I think he said he burns like 35,000 calories at every seminar he does. But if you're not amped up after you get out of there, I always say your wood's all wet. You got to get something fixed there. But that's a great event. And then, of course, you're going to be hearing a lot about EXP Con, and that's our EXP convention in Las Vegas. And that's going to be later this fall. So if you cannot make it to the Brent Gove event in Dallas, Texas at the Gaylord in August, no matter what you do, you got to save your money and get yourself a ticket to the EXP Con. That is, I'll just tell you what those conventions do, guys. They get your head connected with your heart. That's what they do. They open up your vision. You see a much bigger vision when you're around all these big producing agents. You're going to all these trainings with all these big producing agents, and they're giving you all their secrets. So it's one thing to be an educated real estate agent or realtor, but it's another one to be educated and passionate. And that's where you're going to get your fire and your passion when you're around all these. There's probably going to be 20,000 agents in Las Vegas this fall at EXPCon, and you don't want to miss that. The tickets are not cheap, so you need to start right now. So sell a few houses and put some money away and buy those tickets. Get your hotel reserved. What is that? I think it's at the Mandalay Bay. If I'm not mistaken. I don't have the details right in front of me, but two big events coming up this summer, August, and the EXPCon later on this fall.
Yeah, it's Mandalay Bay, and you can do it two ways. That when you have a big event like this, you can either go to Mandalay Bay and reserve a room now, so you make sure you're there, but you're not going to get the special rate that they will have eventually. And then when they have the special rate, then get it and just cancel that reservation that you made outside of that. So.
Yeah. So guys, just get there. I promise you, if you don't have the vision to see what I'm talking about, just borrow mine. Because I promise you it'll be worth every penny and every minute that you invest. It's about a 3-day event, lots of parties, lots of fun stuff going on. It is Vegas after all, for crying out loud. And we're going to have a great time. We're also going to build some Team Freedom events around the event as well, so that we can build a little more camaraderie and esprit de corps coming out of this 2-year COVID crap that has caused us to be so antisocial the last couple of years, I guess. So
and one more thing,
ahead,
Tony, as we get closer to the October event, we'll see about maybe renting a van or something that we could all chip in on and just all go together, that type of thing. Because once you get there, you don't need a car.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I love that. We used to do that with our KW family. We'd get one of those big luxury buses, 52 agents, fill it up. We'd actually do training up there, so we could write off the trip that way, and then we would obviously come back. But yeah, that's a good idea. That'll save people a lot of money if you guys can carpool out of Phoenix up. It's only a 4-hour drive to Vegas, so it's not that bad. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead because of time restrictions. I want to introduce my dear friends Barry and Akash Kaushal. I'll just tell you a little bit of a backstory. At the time, I was the CEO team leader for Keller Williams Biltmore Partners in the Central Corridor of Phoenix, when actually three of the coolest people in my life, they're all icons, they're actually on this Zoom today. Mike Searcy up there. I don't know where he is on your screen, but on my little Hollywood squares, he's right next to me. And then I met Barry and Akash, and I recruited Barry and Akash to Keller Williams. They were with Coldwell Banker at the time. They were doing a pretty good little volume. When I met them, they'd only been in real estate for, I think, 1.5 years, something like that. And I'm going to let them tell their story, but this is the smartest family I think I've ever known in my life. They're all brilliant. They're sexy. They're handsome. They're charming. They're charismatic. Barry, am I hitting all the buttons? Come on now. They're good dancers. Yeah, Barry, there he is.
Yeah.
All right. So it's great to have you and Akash on today. And guys, their story is very inspirational to me. And I asked them if they would share their story. They've really become mega successful in real estate, focusing on one primary lead generation lane, we call it. There's about 9 different lanes that you can be on for lead gen in real estate, but they found their lane in open houses, and they'll talk a lot more about open houses. You'll hear agents that will say open houses don't work. Wrong. They don't work if you don't work them, and if you don't work them properly. And these two guys have mastered the open houses. They've generated tons of business from those, and now, of course, they're parlaying into other lanes of lead generation. But I've been able to watch their family grow. They stayed at Keller Williams. I moved to a different Keller Williams, East Valley. They stayed at Biltmore Partners. And then when I made the big announcement that I was leaving Keller to come over to EXP, I think Barry might have even reached out to me and said, you know, if wherever you're going, we're right behind you. And so they joined shortly after I came over to EXP, and they really planted their flag here very quickly. They're internet phenoms. They're just an amazing family. They personally had me and my bride over to their home for dinner a couple of different times. They've invited us to their temple, and we had an amazing spiritual night with them one night in the Sikh temple there, and had a great meal that Barry's wife, Vanessa, actually cooked for hundreds of people and served us. So anyway, without further ado, I'm just really honored to be in business with these two gentlemen. I admire them. I look up to them. And they're definitely two people you want to emulate and follow. And I've always subscribed to that saying that it's okay to be a copycat as long as we're copying the right cat. Well, these two cats are cats you want to copy because they definitely are doing it right. So Barry, Akash Kaushal, take it away, gentlemen. Appreciate you being on this morning.
Thank you very much, Tony, for a nice introduction. It's been a pleasure working with you through different offices to different companies, and go a long way back. And excuse me, and coming to EXP was a good decision. And yes, back to the journey. I'm a computer engineer. My son Akash Kaushal on this is a chemical engineer, and we have no sales experience. So that's one day we just decided we are people person and we should do something where people are involved rather than talking to machines all day long. So, but the problem was we moved from Canada and knew nobody in America. So one is nobody, sales background, no. So, but somebody told us to do open houses, and we tried it. Initially, it looked like a dead-end street because everybody told us open houses don't work. But the way I look at real estate is, if you see nothing works, but in the end, whatever 9 paths Tony is talking about, all of them work. But initially, what they start out is so small that you exactly think it's not working. Whether you're sending mailers, whether you're door knocking, you're farming, or you're doing open houses. And so we started out and nobody came to the open house. And since we didn't knew any other way, so I held on. Akash was still doing his chemical engineering. So Vanessa and I were already in real estate. And I didn't know what else to do because there was no training. Unless you come to EXP or Keller Williams, people are, you fend for yourself. So in that office, nobody talks to you, nobody, especially the newcomers, because so many people come and go. The senior people, the productive people never used to talk to the juniors or the newcomers because nobody sticks around for long and for the results to come. And we started doing open houses. I didn't know what, so I'll sit there. Luckily for somebody had an overpriced house and which couldn't be sold at the price they were asking. But good thing it was vacant. So I will sit there from sunrise to sunset and just figuring out what to say, how to say. And over a period of time, we got some people who did not buy that house. I wouldn't buy that house that I was open housing. But it opened up the database, it opened up the conversations. And then Akash joined the team and we started, first year we sold 2 houses for at $200,000 each. But over a period of time, we made friends, we discovered things, made a lot of noise on social media, the name spread, and picked up some techniques going to Keller Williams. And one of them was having somebody do your transactions, because that saves you a lot of time as you're growing. So Akash would like to add something to it. He's my son. He's a chemical
Yeah.
engineer. He's a brilliant guy, very hardworking. I'm proud to have a son like Akash.
Well, thank you, Tony, sir, for the wonderful introduction as well. And just to add to what Barry has been saying here, when we first got started, it was probably the hardest thing I ever did. First 6 months or even 12 months were, quite difficult. And we didn't know anything else but open house. And so we had gotten more and more signs. I think we had probably 30 signs. And he would go sit in a vacant house Thursday through Sunday, and I would go sit in another house Thursday through Sunday. And we'd be there 6 to 8 hours, however, 10 to 5 or something like that, and just sit in the house all day and make it our office with 15 to 20 signs out. And that's all we knew, because I didn't know about cold calling. We learned about door knocking, and kind of like what Tony and Barry said, everything works but nothing works, or nothing works but everything works. It's really about that consistency, because you can try a cold call for a week and you're not going to get any results out of it. You might get lucky on one. You can do open houses and you could get lucky where somebody's ready to buy in the next 4 days, which you do enough of them and it'll happen, because we've had that happen too. So it's great. But really just the consistency of that, and then putting people into our database, following up, creating some sort of newsletter or point for people to want to reach back out to us, as opposed to just sending listings all the time, because they really don't need you, or at least us anymore at this point, to look at listings online. So kind of differentiating yourself at what you offer as a piece of value to your clients and database, and the follow-up that you provide for them, was what I think just over time kept us successful, because we were doing that for 6 months straight, open housing 3 or 4 days a week, each at different houses. And, Barry mentioned in the first 6 months or a year, we do houses, but 6 months, the new year started, and all the people I had talking to for the last 6 months were suddenly ready to do stuff. And then 2-3 houses a month from there the next year, and then 3-4 houses a month the next year after that. And it just kind of snowballed into that. Tony had mentioned that our lead gen probably has shifted now. We did that for about 3.5 years straight, just every single weekend find a house to open house. And I know in the last 2 years, it's been a little bit harder because things are selling so fast that I didn't even have the chance to do an open house, or, sit there for more than a week or 2 days or something. I don't know about in everyone else's market, but Phoenix for sure, that is coming back with the level of inventory that's pouring in. So if anyone is looking to do open houses or want to chat more about it, we can talk about strategy and sign placement, and how many signs you should have out, and should you circle dial the neighborhood and invite folks and door knock and things like that to kind of add and have more conversations around real estate. So at this point, I think we can probably count how many open houses we've done this year on our maybe one hand or two hands. We have other people who on our team or in our group who will do our open houses for us now. And most of our marketing efforts, or lead gen efforts, have actually shifted to more of a like event marketing. So we just held a Barry's Bollywood Bonanza, and that was 2 weeks ago. And what we did instead of doing open houses, now we just call every single one of our past clients, send them emails and phone calls to invite them to a party at our house, where mom's cooking, Barry's dancing, I'm serving popsicles, just keeping it fun and light and things like that. So
Tony, you're on mute.
Akash, I was going to say, I'm going to have you sell me a house just so I can go to your parties.
Certainly,
it's so
welcome.
funny, because I had friends chatting with me, and they're like, how can I get an invite to that? I was like, why haven't you bought a house with me yet?
There it is.
So I had 2-3 people say, I got to buy a house with you so I can come to the next one. They're like, when is the next one? November.
Those
They're like,
parties
okay,
are
we're going to
epic.
buy a house before that.
Yeah, initially it was very difficult, but now it's at time we get the guilt feeling that we're not working hard enough. and the businesses keep pouring. We have more people trying to buy from us, or then we have hours in a day to take care of them. So we are in a very sweet position where we don't have to chase business. Business is chasing us. And until today, we have sold over $90 million in real estate.
Wow.
And we are one house sale away from being an icon for the second time in EXP.
Way to go, you guys. Woo! I didn't realize you were that close. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think either we have already become an icon or we are one sale away. And we have 30 in transaction in
Escrow.
escrow. So we are sitting, we have already sold 8 million for the next year, the houses that will close next year, the new builds. So we can take a vacation from here for rest of the year, but I am a machine, so I don't rest. I will go on. I'll die in my boots. I cannot sit idle. I don't sleep much. So
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we've been chatting about with new agents, especially. You know, a lot. I've been having it. They're like, you know, I want it fast, and I want this, you know, to come to me as quickly as possible. And I see them, you know, hustling and doing the same things that I've been doing, whether it's cold calling to open housing a lot and stuff like that. And just to share that timeline with them, it was like, I think it was 3 years of us doing it very, very consistently. And then around the 3.5 year mark, it started to shift where we had been in business long enough, people knew us enough, we'd done enough sales, I had been database where it started feeling less so much outbound work and a lot more inbound. People were reaching out to us via, you know, Facebook or, you know, our social sphere and network, where we kind of really felt that transition from outbound to inbound. And then really at the 5, because now we're at about 6 years, right? Probably this week, actually. Yeah, this week I'm 6 years in.
Wow.
And that 5.5 year mark is really where it shifted to even higher amounts, where it's like, if I don't do another open house, it's all good. Like I won't have to do another open house if I don't want to, because we have so many people that I can just touch through our past clients or database or sphere and generate business through that, instead of, you know, having to add more and more people to the database constantly, which, you know, you do have to do that. But in this sense, we have enough business to be able to just work through that.
Akash, when you're talking, it reminds me of that old saying. I'm not sure if I have it exactly right, but it's do today what others won't to have tomorrow what others don't. Right? I mean, to me, you know, there's a lot of lessons in what the youth that is speaking to us right now. And I'm going to call you youth because you're a young guy, but you know, from the mouths of babes comes a lot of wisdom, and you're really teaching a lot of very important principles for the new folks that are here. I've actually heard David Spute, who's on here tonight, that good-looking gentleman there and on your screen. I've heard him say it multiple times. You know, don't even think about getting into real estate unless you're willing to give it a 5-year commitment. And that's what you're saying, Akash, is, you know, once you pay your dues, right? Once you pay your dues, you go out there, you know, the universe is going to reward people that are producing, whether you're selling houses or not, you know, whether you're, you know, if you're working towards lead generation and you're doing it consistently over time, like Akash, like you and your dad have done, the universe, I promise you, is going to reward you. It may test you for a little season to see if you really got the mustard, but then it's going to start to really reward you. And now that the Kaushal family, they went through a devastating period. Akash, maybe you want to share that with the loss of grandparents on both sides of your family, and you know, kind of what that did to your business and what you guys did to recover. That was an inspirational story to me.
Yeah, we had I had a grandparent on each side pass away within about 6 months of each other, and that was right at the time that we had come over to EXP, actually. And I think it affected my family quite a lot, you know. And my dad had to go to India for I don't know, a month or more. It felt like 2 months, probably 2 months at the, and mom had to go to Canada and for about a month and stuff like that. So at that point, I'd say I was pretty in a depressed state as well. Not really generating a lot of business. Right at that time, actually, that was really around that 3-year mark, 3.5-year mark, I'd say. And at that time, we had been in the business, and when we'd start racked up, a decent amount of debt from the first year or the first 2 years of just, not generating, and then finally, things were hitting. So at that point, when these things happened, we'd actually cleared it and gotten kind of past that. And that was my whole thing, actually. That was my whole why for those first 3 years of like, why am I working so hard? Why am I, not taking a weekend? Why am I doing this? Is to get my family out of this position that we were in. And right at that time, when both my grandparents passed away, we had gotten out of this hole that we'd been digging out of, climbing out of for such a long period of time, or it felt like that, and at that time, it's like, why am I doing any of this now? So I had a really big shift in why am I doing the work that I'm doing, and why do I want to work, continue to work way. And it was shifting that why from that, like that pain of, eating beans, I'll call it, and eating dirt for so many years, to the pull of the pleasure that I'm trying to reach, the goals that I'm trying to attain, and where I'd like to take my family and my future family. And so really at that point is a real transition time and period for me to reflect on, what does family mean to me? What does, the legacy that my grandparents have left behind, and what is the legacy that I would like to give to my future children? And so, when my parents and the things had settled down and we got back into it, we went all in on just relationships, as opposed to let me, double down on open houses or, our lead gen. Was let me reach out and just connect better with all the people who do know me, and just forge genuine, authentic connections and friendships and foster friendships. And all of our business has grown through just relationships. It's not forge friendships and connections to get business, but that's certainly a byproduct of just creating more genuine connections. And that's all my focus is on these days. I'll go to young professional events, networking events, out with friends, meeting new friends through birthday parties, a bar, whatever it might be, social events and things like that, and just connecting with people on, very authentic. And when they're ready to do something, they'll do something, because I'm the best friend they've ever had.
I love it. One of the things, Barry, that I was so impressed, Barry and his son Akash, I invited them to come down to Austin, Texas. Was it Austin, guys? I think it was Austin.
Yes, it was awesome.
4 or 5 years ago, we went down together with Keller Williams. They weren't even with Keller Williams at the time. They were still with Coldwell Banker. And I ended up getting an Airbnb that was like 100-year-old house in Austin. And I really didn't know this Indian family. I didn't really know a lot about Indian customs. So of course I'm real loud in the morning, and I look over and Barry's over there praying, and I'm like, "Oh, gosh, you should have told me your dad was praying." And he's like, "Oh, it's okay. You can pray through a tornado." But what I learned about Barry Kaushal after being with him and really listening to his philosophies is that he's taught his children very, very well. This is a good dad and a good father, and someone who's taught principles that have, I'm sure, carried through generations of his family and will continue to carry on generations through Akash and his siblings. But Barry, just want you to know, it's one of the things I'm most impressed about you is the great philosophies, not just the work ethic, but I'm talking about your philosophical viewpoints on life. What you've instilled. Because to me, what that tells me is that you are definitely part of the solution and not part of the problem when it comes to elevating the standard of our profession. We all know, if you've been in real estate long enough, there's a bunch of knuckleheads out there that have no right really to have a license, But Barry, you've really taught your family so well that you've really, just through this transition into real estate, you've actually helped raise the standard of the entire profession through the teachings to your children. So I commend you for that and just want you to know how impressed I am. So any last final comments, Barry or Akash, that you want to share? We'll open it up to a little Q&A if these guys want to ask you some questions.
Akash, what?
Yeah. Nothing too major. I think we shared a lot of what made us successful and how the business shifts for us and how it'll shift for most people, I think, and kind of what the next steps are.
What's the one advice, the one piece of advice to a new agent on Zoom or listening to this recording? What is the one piece of advice, Barry, that you would give them? And Akash, what's the one piece of advice that you would give?
I'll go first, so Barry, you can have some time to think about that. Mine is going to be two pieces. It's consistency and mindset. And the consistency is pick your lead gen that you feel somewhat comfortable with, because they're all going to be a little bit uncomfortable because it's new to you. Pick the one that resonates with you most, that can get you through, the most conversations and create those genuine, connections with people. And for us, that was open houses and then social media. So whether it's Instagram or, making TikToks or anything like that. For me, it was Instagram. For Dad, it's Facebook. He connects very well with his audience on Facebook. I connect well on Instagram, and then both of us did the open houses. So pick one sort of, whether you call it old school method, and then pick one of the digital ways, and then just go all in on those two things. And don't get confused with, should I be doing this thing and this thing and this thing and pay for this and do this and that kind of thing. Just pick like two things, put all your time and energy into it.
Great advice.
Mine is, I'm a diehard optimist. You cannot put me down. You can put me in a steel cage, I'll come out. So I'm one of those people, I always know the outcome and then I work backwards. I'm gonna succeed. And just to give you a story, I was born poor. My mother never went to school. My father is grade 10. And we came out of poverty, ignorance, illiteracy. Came to this country with $16 in my pocket. Today I have 5 high-end cars. I drive BMWs, Audis. And for a poor guy whose family income was $5 a year, where I started, I come a long way. The only thing is, I always knew I'm gonna be successful. There isn't a situation, there isn't a downturn, there isn't a recession, there isn't any person which can put me down. I will walk out of any fences life puts around me. Whether it's poverty, whether it's downturns, whether it's, yeah. So this is my strength, is I do not get bogged down by odds against me. I said, I have made up my mind. Don't confuse me with facts. Facts are always against you. That's it.
Made up my mind. Don't confuse me with facts.
We say that one a lot in the house.
I love
so.
that. Awesome. Well, what you guys have, Barry, what you have is mindset, and that's when you're trying to feed a family on 100% commission, you have to have that bulletproof, impenetrable mindset. And that's what you have. And it's been a super inspiration to me. I can't imagine, being from a different country, coming to a country that you don't know, having no money, not speaking the language that well, and being involved in this industry and then switching totally to something that's 100% sales with no guaranteed income. But for those of you that don't know the Kaushals personally, of course, you can find them on Work Chat. Barry is actually Bharat, B-H-A-R-A-T, Bharat Kaushal, and his son Akash. But these two are definitely two people that you want to learn from, pick their brains if you can get around them at a convention or something like that, because they literally are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year now in commissions. And it didn't come easy, right? If it's easy, Akash, it's sleazy. You guys worked your butts off over a long period of time, and now you're being rewarded because you planted the seeds over a long, long period of time. You didn't just plant the seeds, you did all the work to pull the weeds, shoo the birds off, get rid of all the bugs, and now it's harvest time. And I'm really just super excited for you guys and the harvest that you created for yourself and your family.
Thank you for the time, Tony.
Does anybody have any questions? Akash has got to run in just a few minutes. So anybody have any questions you want to fire away? Go for it. You have to unmute your mic there.
Yeah, not really a question, just a comment about these two guys. They are the most giving real estate family team that you ever want to meet. I call them the king and prince of real estate here in Arizona, because Barry, the dude is all over the freaking state.
He is, man. It's like,
I mean, every time you look, he's like, "Oh, I'm in Tucson," or
I think there's actually 4 Barrys. I think he's cloned himself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they have always, like, if you have a question, about any place in Arizona, you call Barry. Reach out to him, text him, or whatever, and he'll let you know on what the market's like out there. And every time I've reached out to them, they've always been helpful. So, and the one thing I think, Akash, before you leave, Akash is really changing the marketplace for us on the commercial end. You might want to mention the commercial end that we have access to now with what he's put together here in Arizona. So before you leave, it'd be great to mention that.
These two are our commercial and land specialists. That's what we're going to call you guys, commercial and land specialists.
So I call myself a resmercial agent.
Resmercial, there you go.
Resmercial, dabble in both. In the last year and a half, come across the opportunity to work some very large commercial deals, big warehouses. And I got in touch with another commercial guy at EXP. And from there, we've put together a small commercial team, actually, here mainly in the Phoenix area, where we're sourcing leads from residential agents. So you come across a commercial deal, you put it through our online platform, and then it's assigned to one of the commercial agents on our team, depending on the niche or skill set it requires, whether it's a multifamily or industrial, storefront, land development, that kind of thing, and we'll a person that it makes the most sense for. So, I pick up some of the smaller ones, the industrial stuff, the storefronts, people who need shop space for hair salons, things like that. And we have a guy who'll do, the multifamily or development side of things. And so that's really been the last year and a half, and shifting a little bit more into the commercial side of things, because it's totally different, but to us, it's been extremely profitable and worth it. We had 2 deals that came in for a recycling facility, and the volume on those, because they were 10-year leases at 100,000 square feet or 150,000 square feet of warehouse. The sales volume was 12.5 million on that, and you got paid 3% on that entire volume.
Woo!
So yeah. So that was one of them.
$110,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did about 15 million on the commercial side of things, and yeah, there's no real discounts in the commercial like there is in residential, where you've been down to 2%, and things like. But on the commercial side of things, it's still up at 3 or more if you need to, if you can find it.
Currently, of the 90 million, we still have made 70 million of sales in residential, 20 million from land and commercial. And with the name we have established in Phoenix, the big parties are approaching us for hotels, car washes, truck stops, office space lease, large establishments. So seems like there will be more business coming to us from the commercial side, because now the rich players have confidence in us and they are approaching us to buy them big ticket items like 10 million, 20 million. So, and we don't have to approach them anymore because we
Well, they
somehow-
heard how loud, they heard how Barry yells, and they found him finally after all these years. So that's basically how it's been working.
It's
Yeah.
awesome to see how this whole this transition has evolved and how it's blessing your guys' lives and the lives of your clients. So Brandy, it looks like you might have a question here.
I do. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been really interesting. I want to be residential too. I love it. I'm fascinated by commercial, but I don't know a lot about it. I own a couple of commercial buildings in other states, but I still don't know much about it. But I came in the meeting and you were saying something about popsicles and open houses. Can you go back to that again? I
Yeah.
have an open house coming
yeah,
up in a couple of weeks, so I
good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Hang in there. That's all I'll say. And keep smiling. Nobody wants to go to somebody who has too many problems, because people have their own problems. They don't want your problems.
oh, they don't want to hear about my spleen that day. No?
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
Brandy, if you're having the open house coming up, just lots of signs. If you want to outdoor knock the 10 houses or 20 houses around you, 5 on your side of the street, 5 on the other side, just invite people to it and make some phone calls around there. And but popsicles, I have a custom popsicle lady here in Uptown Phoenix, and we used that at one of our events that we held at the house. So it wasn't an open house, but it was like a big house party that we had 100 people over.
Okay, okay. I thought you
Not a
were,
bad idea
Yeah,
though,
so,
having.
so it was
popsicles.
kind of separate.
okay. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
but they
interesting.
would definitely work. They would definitely work for you too if that's what you want to give out. I know I do a lot of the food and stuff at open houses, but if my mom comes out with me or goes out with dad, she'll do that, like the cookies and things like that. So, but yeah, especially as you're getting into the summer now, that's great. And if you can stick your like a business card on it somehow,
Interesting.
or find a way to give out something with that. So brand
Okay.
it,
Very cool.
Well, Akash, I know you've got a meeting that you've got to get to, so just want to say thank you so much to you and Barry for sharing today. And guys, again, if you want to consult with them, you can find them on Work Chat. They're part of our great team, great family here at EXP, and they're definitely giving agents. So definitely reach out. Akash, I just continue to celebrate you and your dad from the sidelines here, and it's just so exciting to see you guys living the dream now. It's awesome. It was a little bit of a nightmare there for a bit, but you're living the dream now. So that's awesome.
Thank you, Tony. I always appreciate the praise and the nice things you say about us and our family.
Tony is the
And,
master.
Come on now.
We learn all the.
I'm a little grasshopper trying to learn from the masters here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to
And,
copy the cat. Huh?
Well, hey
Tony
guys,
is the best
Yeah.
at giving compliments.
I do
Whatever he
wanna-
says, jot it down.
well,
Nobody compliments like Tony.
I don't have enough time on this call today to, put out all the compliments that I have for you, Barry, but we'll have a sideline conversation. I know your wife will be concerned because I'll blow your head up so big you won't be able to get through the living room door.
It's already like that.
Hey guys, real quick,
So-
next month, we're going to be doing the Team Freedom meeting. It's July 4th on the first Monday. So we're going to move it back 1 week. Please put that in your calendars, July 11th. We have the founders of Snowbird Nation, Dr. Mike Searcy. Not sure if he was still on here or not, but he's going to be speaking. I believe his partner, Brooks Mashmeyer, again, icon agents that are on the team. They've got an amazing story. They run a great team here at EXP. They're doing hundreds and hundreds of homes now. And so we're really excited for next month. Just remember, it's July 11th. I'll get out a little reminder, obviously, and a little graphic as well. And I do also want to just do a little shout out, Nikki. I don't know if you're still on here, but Nikki Feliciano, if you could just say hello. I know you're new to EXP. Hello, Nikki.
Hi, everybody.
That was just a quick little
here.
Dun & Bradstreet on Nikki Feliciano. Your background.
Well, I am actually an agent in Idaho and have been for about 7 years. And I just got a house down here in Utah and I want to expand because I still have my house in Idaho. Family's down there and I've got some friends here. And my son joined EXP. He's a brand new agent. And I think it's awesome that he turned me on to EXP a little bit. I mean, I had heard quite a bit about EXP over the years and seen them growing and doing lots of really cool things. So my brokerage in Idaho is not licensed in Utah, so I had to find a new one, and I just decided to jump on board here and made him my sponsor, even though he's fresh and new. So
that's really awesome, Nikki. That's Emilio, right?
yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that story, and we're just excited to have you here. And we have a lot of friends in Utah. I built a business there for I don't know, 13 years, something like that. So I have hundreds and hundreds of friends there. If I can ever help you in any way, don't ever hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. I definitely will. I'm looking forward to spreading my wings. I mean, Idaho, in the market that I was in, I was working with maybe 60 listings. And so there will be plenty more work here. So
Yeah, that's exciting.
I'm excited to be a part of EXP. I think it's great what you guys are doing here. And I love all of the optimism, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Well, welcome. You're going to be so excited after a few months, you're going to want to switch that Idaho over to EXP as well. Get
I
that.
already plan on it, actually.
Good. Get that stock while you can, any way you can, because the price is low right now. When it shoots up to $50, $60, $70 a share again, we're all going to make a lot of money in EXP stock. So just hang in there, guys. The market's crazy right now with inflation, but don't freak that the stock price is down. That's a good thing. You want to get more and more and more of it so you can ride that wave when it starts to happen again, and it will happen for sure. I do want to just do a quick shout out as well to a few new agents. I've got to put my glasses on here. These are new agents in the last 30 days. Shayna Paruk Irby, I sponsored her here. I know she's a nurse. She's working right now. Taylor Curry was just on. Is Taylor still on? There she is. Hi, Taylor. Welcome. Everybody's Taylor. Brand new agent here. I'm honored to be her sponsor as well. Lisa Giaquinta, David Spute sponsored Lisa. So welcome to Lisa. Phil Ramos actually sponsored a lady named Denise Johnson, really sweet lady. She's going to be amazing in real estate. So welcome, Denise. And then Sherry Davis, Merrick Davis. I don't know if you're still on here, but Merrick sponsored a lady that's been in real estate. I think he told me for 25 years up there in Idaho. She's actually the county assessor, and Merrick just sponsored her. So we're really excited to have Sherry. She's got a wealth of experience, and I'm sure we're going to be able to tap into her experience in coming months. Teresa Elijah, I saw her on here. Let's see if she's still on. I think she had to bail off, but she was sponsored by Amika Njoku. So congratulations to Teresa. And then Megan Olmstead, sponsored by Tasha Marie Dykes. Megan is another just super talented young lady that's going to do amazing here in EXP in real estate. So welcome to all of our new family members. Again, guys, put it down in your planner, that event in October in Las Vegas. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a game changer for all of us. Save your money. We'll start talking about saving money again in like September, maybe even August, because again, guys, you want to make sure you're putting money away for your board fees and your MLS dues. Don't forget to pay your taxes, super important there. And then, obviously just take care of your health. I just had the very unique opportunity to be with my sweet aunt when she passed over just a few days ago on Friday. And, I posted on Facebook, love them while you have them, so we only have one life. We only have one body. We need to take really good care of it. We got a lot of clients to serve out there. And so be healthy, eat healthy, drink healthy. And let's just continue on this journey together. Appreciate your guys' patience with me. I know I've been a little out of touch the last week or so because my wife and I are on a fairly lengthy vacation, but we're going to start to turn back north today and start to head back up. There's that cute little one, Zachary Martin's training her young, boy. She'll be an icon before she's 18 years old in 3 months, probably. So that's exciting. Well, Barry, again, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. Salute you. You're a great example. You're a great friend. And thank you for sharing your talents today, you and Akash. You guys have an awesome day. Mwah. Love y'all. Hope you all have a fantastic week. And if you need anything this month, just let me know. I'm always just a phone call away.
Everybody.
Yeah, bye. See you later. Go sell a house with your daddy.
Yeah, we closed the deal today and we closed another one in like 8 days. So
nice. Way to go. Way to go, Martin family. Good job.
It's all her.
It's all her. You got the chick magnet, man. That's no fair.
All right. Well, everybody, good luck. Happy Monday. It's Kill June.
Take care, guys. We'll see you later.